Thank you, Wendell. Viewers, good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin in Venezuela. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro moved closer to taking control of $1 billion in disputed gold in Bank of England reserves after winning a court ruling appeal on the question of who the UK has recognized as the legitimate leader of the Latin American country. Maduro's administration is in dire need of hard currency after U.S. economic sanctions imposed for human rights violations crippled its oil exports. He says he wants to sell gold under the auspices of the UN to buy medicine and pay for the humanitarian aid to fight the coronavirus pandemic. Opposition leader Juan Guaido has appointed his own central bank council and BAT to keep the reserves at the Bank of England. He says the central bank run by Maduro only wants to steal the gold. The England and Wales Court of Appeal overturned a lower court decision in July. It said that the UK had only unequivocally recognized the Guaido government. The appeals court said that before the case could finally be settled, the foreign ministry needed to be questioned in more detail on whether it recognized in practice the Maduro government on certain issues. He asked the commercial court to do so. Now for some WHO news. Roughly 1 in 10 people may have been infected with the coronavirus, leaving the vast majority of the world's population vulnerable to the COVID-19 disease it causes, the World Health Organization said on Monday. Mike Ryan, the WHO's top emergency expert, was addressing the agency's executive board, where the United States made a thinly veiled swipe at China for what it called a quote failure end of quote to provide accurate and timely information on the outbreak. But Zhang Yang of China's National Health Commission said, I quote, China has always been transparent and responsible to fulfill our international obligations, end of quote. China maintained close contacts with all levels of the UN Health Agency, she added. Ryan said that outbreaks were surging in parts of Southeast Asia and that cases and deaths were on the rise in parts of Europe and the eastern region. The WHO and other experts have said that the virus, believed to have emerged in a food market in the central Chinese city of Wuhan late last year, is of animal origin. The WHO has submitted a list of experts to take part in an international mission to China to investigate the origin for consideration by Chinese authorities, Ryan said, without giving details. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump began a 4th day at the military hospital on Monday, where he is being treated for COVID-19, as his condition remained unclear and outside experts warned his case may be severe. The president's team is treating Trump, 74, with a steroid, dexamethasone, that is normally used only in the most severe cases. Yet, his medical team told reporters on Sunday that Trump could return to the White House as early as Monday. Even if he does, he will need to continue treatment as the Republican president is still undergoing a 5-day course of an extravenous antiviral drug, remdesivir. The normal quarantine period for anyone testing positive for the coronavirus is 14 days. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows on Monday reiterated the hope that Trump would be released shortly from the hospital. Sequestered at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center outside Washington since Friday, Trump has released a series of videos in an effort to reassure the public that he is recovering from the disease caused by a novel coronavirus that has infected 7.4 million Americans and killed more than 209,000. On Sunday, he also left his hospital room to ride in a White House motorcade that drove him past supporters gathered outside the hospital. Dressed in a suit jacket, shirt, but no tie, and a black mask, it marked Trump's first in-person public appearance since Friday. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining. Back to you, Wendell.